EA75 versus the Aula F75. And the real question is whether that little screen and the extra you pay for it actually change anything once you're typing. Both are 70% boards with hot swap sockets and that creamy sound people chase. So paying more only makes sense if you'll really use the screen. Though going cheaper just to save a few bucks isn't automatically the smarter buy either. By the end, you'll know which one fits you. Let's break it down. Let's start with the reason most people are here, which is how these things actually sound and feel when you're typing on them for hours. The Aula F75 leans hard into that deep, thocky, creamy sound, and it isn't just marketing. Buyers who've never touched a mechanical board before describe the stock switches as smooth, with just enough resistance, and the sound comes across as full rather than plasticky. There's one opinion about the F75 that stuck with me. For a stock keyboard at this price, I'm in love. The sound is deep and thocky and super creamy, and the keys take so little pressure that typing on it is a breeze. The Epomaker EA75, for its part, is built on the same idea, with 5 layers of foam and factory lubed switches, but it lands softer and more neutral. Some people who know these boards, well, call it less punchy than the F75, and I'd agree with that read. The interesting part is the switch options, because the silent variant on the EA75 is quiet enough that buyers mention typing late at night without bothering anyone. If you want character in the sound, the Aula is the one. If you want to be the quiet person in a shared room, the Epomaker gives you that option out of the box. That feel depends almost entirely on what's underneath the keycaps. Both use a gasket structure and both feel weighted rather than hollow, which already puts them ahead of cheap boards that rattle. The Epomaker is noticeably heavier, and people who've handled it say it feels dense in a good way. On the Aula, one buyer noticed slight give when pressing hard and keys that got a little wobbly over time, though that's a stray complaint, and most owners describe it as solid. What I'd flag instead is the gasket marketing, because at least one reviewer who took it apart says the mounting isn't the leaf spring setup the listing implies. It still types well. Just don't buy it expecting enthusiast-grade construction. Wireless is where both cover the basics, and neither really surprises you. Bluetooth 5.0, 2.4 GHz with the dongle, and USB-C wired on both, with the Aula holding more paired devices at once. Buyers hop between a laptop, a tablet, and a Steam Deck without drops, and gaming over the dongle stays stable. Same story on the Epomaker, though what tips it slightly is the screen showing you which mode you're in, so you're not guessing why nothing is typing. And that screen is the actual question in this comparison. It sits on the corner of the EA75, showing the time, battery, connection mode, and whatever GIF you loaded onto it. And the knob next to it changes RGB and volume with the display confirming what you just did. It's genuinely handy for battery and mode, less so for anything else. The Aula skips the screen entirely and puts everything on the knob, which switches between a gaming mode for lighting and an office mode for volume and playback. Honestly, the knob does 90% of the daily work on both boards. The screen is a nice extra, not a reason on its own. Where the Epomaker does earn it is software. Both are hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches, so you can swap in whatever you like later on either one, but the Aula's driver is thin, and buyers who want real macros or per-key lighting run into its limits fast. The EA75 gives you proper programmable keys and macros, though you have to plug it into a Windows or Mac machine to do it, and finding the right utility for the screen trips people up. On battery, neither one lasts forever with the lights blasting. The Epomaker carries the bigger cell at 5,000 mAh versus 4,000 on the Aula, and with the screen and RGB running hard, you're charging every few days on either board. Turn the lighting down and both stretch to a week or more, so where does the money go? The Aula F75 is the cheaper of the two, and it's the one to look at if the sound and feel are all you care about, since you're not paying for a display or deeper software. The Epomaker EA75 costs more, and that difference buys the screen, the bigger battery, the real programmability, and a heavier build, plus the option of the quiet switches from day one. Here's the call. For most people watching this, I'd take the Aula F75, because the sound and the typing feel are the whole reason you're buying a board like this, and it nails that part while costing less. The Epomaker earns its money if you want the screen for battery and mode at a glance, or if you need real macros and per-key lighting that the Aula's software won't give you. And if you type late at night next to someone sleeping, get the Epomaker with the silent switches, because the Aula is loud by design, and no amount of foam fixes that. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Links below in the description.